Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's solo brain podcast. It is just me, Megan. Um, my sister had a loss in her life recently. Some of you already probably know that, and I know she mentioned it on the podcast last week. She did want me to let you guys know that this was going on, and this is one of the reasons why we just couldn't record this weekend. And honestly, like, it's totally okay because that's how we have been building this podcast. We've been building it to be a place where we can have good and bad days. And, Michelle's loss has really allowed me time to sit with it, to sit with what does loss mean? And I don't know, it's kind of cracked something open inside of me. And I wanted to share that with you guys today. I've been spending this time thinking about like, what does it mean to lose a loved one or to lose a job, to lose a version of yourself that you didn't even know that you were grieving. And I just keep coming back to this one thing that like, life is really fucking hard right now. Not just for me, but I think for a lot of us. And I keep asking myself, like, does this ever get easier? Or do we just figure out better ways of dealing with the challenges? I don't know. Maybe we find better ways of carrying the weight. I don't have a clean answer for it right now, and I'm not sure that there is one. But here is what I do know. I know that I have been scared a lot. And I thought we could talk about that today. Because I don't think I talk about what I'm scared of very often. I don't think I do. Well, you'll remind me if I have, but I don't when I think of things that scare me, I know people usually ask me like, "Well, what am I afraid to fail at?" And like here's the thing about me. I don't really think about failure. I don't know. I mean, like I do, but I kind of like failing. Like I don't really fear it. I genuinely enjoy having that extra bit of feedback, that bit of data. It means when you fail that I've tried something. It means that I put forth effort and I'm learning how to recalibrate and try again. And that part doesn't scare me. What scares me is trusting myself. That's weird to say, It scares me to trust my instincts, It scares me to trust my creativity, trusting the way that my brain works, the way that I work. Like it's trusting that my brain is not only valid, but that it's, I don't know, like worth making money with or betting on. I don't know. The thing that's frustrating too is that like I didn't always feel this way, right? Like that's the part that like really, really upsets me. Because like I was this little girl once. I was this little Rosie with this light in her eyes and she was fearless. You know, she could not be told to sit down and stop wiggling. She couldn't be told that her shoes were mismatched or that the itchy dress that was specifically chosen for some occasion was actually the appropriate thing to wear. She couldn't be told those things. She couldn't be told to stop staring at the leg of her desk because she found it fascinating and her brain just wanted to understand why. she was something. She was creative. She was vivacious and she was loud and weird and certain. She was me. And here's the thing that I'm, God, still working on years later is that I I look at her as a she, not as an I. Like she's a character that I once played. She's somebody that I watched from far away, and she wasn't somehow me. Huh. And that disassociation, that God, it's such an out of body experience. I've been sitting a lot with that lately, you know? Like, what does it mean if I can't fully claim her just yet? What does it mean to look at the most authentic part of yourself and still feel like she is someone else? I just can't, I can't fathom it. Well, I can. I mean, it comes back to one thing. It comes back to the fact that, like, I have been told my entire life that my brain is other. That the way that I think and that I feel and that I move through the world is just too much. I am too much. I'm who I am as a genuine, authentic person is too much for the world and it is just wrong. I mean, when that's the message you've been given your entire life, of course self trust becomes genuinely harder to build, right? And for a long time, I thought that my inability to trust myself was a character flaw. Like there was something defective within me that made me that way. It had to be my weakness. But I've come to realize that it's very different. It's not a flaw. It's a wound. It's a very old wound that just didn't heal properly. it it reminds me of when I was 10 and I got my ears pierced at Claire's in the mall. Like that was the thing that everyone would go do. And I was so excited because like this was going to be my moment. It was like a whole thing, like you had to wait until you were 10 and it meant that I was grown up. It meant that I was becoming glamorous. And it the damn holes just never healed right. They scabbed over, sure. And like on the outside, they look fine. But let me tell you that every single time that I have or try, even to this day, to put a pair of earrings into my ears, I have to reopen that hole first because it is closed. It never fully healed properly. And it's just like whatever is back there, like whatever tissue is back there, just trying to do its best. But like what I'm realizing about those earrings right now as I'm saying this out loud is that I don't know, the earring itself is society. Does that make sense? Right? Like the earring is every 9 to 5 job that I have tried to shove into my ADHD body. It is every version of adult that I've attempted to cram through my brain. It's every time that I have forced something foreign through myself because that's what I thought I was supposed to do, to fit in, to be glamorous, to be taken seriously. And every time my body would swell up, it would turn red and it rejected it. Every single time. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that was my body trying to tell me that this whole time. Like maybe it was trying to tell me something. I mean, yes, maybe I don't just need earrings. That's definitely something. But like maybe it is this like other that I have been, how do I say this? Like this earring is the society, right? And the other that I have been running away from life really truly isn't a defect. The fact that like my ears will not close up, that isn't a defect. It's information. It is my body knowing all along that I never needed earrings to be an adult. My body knew from the moment that that damn foreign object entered that it was not supposed to be there. And I've been so busy trying to force the fucking earrings through that damn hole that I missed the message entirely. Right? I don't need to belong and do what everyone else is doing. I just need to be me as I am. I don't need to alter myself. I don't need to look or act a certain way just to fit in. I need to be creative. I need to be fearless. I need to be the thing that I already am and was and threw away because that wasn't right. But what does it look like to choose yourself anyway? I mean, even if it's imperfect, like, honestly, I don't know. For the longest time, I have not been able to figure it out. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure I know. Right? I look at the accomplishments that I've made in my life. I look at this podcast or my master's degree or any number of creative accomplishments that I have done. And I can still hear that stupid voice in the back of my head asking, but is this real? Is this enough? Should you be doing this? Something maybe more serious, maybe more adult, maybe less you. And then my physical therapist's words just pop back into my head, Whenever I tell her, yeah, I'm going to try to do something, I'm going to work at doing something, she stops me and she says, no, you are doing it. You don't need to work on anything because you are doing it. You are doing it. I am creative. I am fearless. That's really, really hard to say. And I don't know if you can hear it in my voice right now, but it is. It still catches in my throat a little because little Rosie knew that without question. And somewhere along the way, I had to unlearn her certainty. But I'm working on pulling her back in, not looking at her as a she anymore, looking at her as an I, which is still, it's still hard to even say I because, she was me. She is me. And I don't know, maybe that's what choosing yourself looks like. It's not a grand gesture. It's not having it all figured out. It's just saying the true thing out loud, even when your voice shakes a little bit. Because if I died tomorrow, I wonder, like, could I say that I lived a good life? I mean, I really, really want to say yes. I'm not all the way there yet, and I'm not going to pretend like I have it all figured out, but like that's the hope, right? Like that's what I'm working toward. No, sorry. It's not what I'm working toward. That's what I'm doing. I am creative. I am fearless. Little Rosie isn't she anymore. She's an I. She's me. I'm Little Rosie. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thanks so much for sticking around. I hope you guys have a beautiful day or night or wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time. Okay. Bye.